Hello, Tim here from the Tiger. Now, 45 years ago yesterday, we had the Thammasat University massacre. Thammasat University, which is adjacent to the Sanam Luang Royal Parade Grounds in Bangkok, a very important area to the cultural history of the city. And it was here that we had this horrible massacre with some 45 people officially killed, but that number is thought to be probably well over 100. Historians will debate about that for time immemorial, no doubt. But there's no doubt that what happened back then still resonates today with the protests that were prominent last year and still bubbling away under the surface, and we'll probably see more of them as the restrictions around Bangkok and Thailand reduce and people start to get out and about a bit more. Anyway, I visited the Thammasat University. They had a pop-up museum on the 44th anniversary last year, so we thought we'd revisit that visit to the museum so you can find out a little bit more about that particular event, the Thammasat University Massacre. Sawasdee krap and welcome to Thammasat University. This is the Thap Prachaon campus, which is right next to the Sanam Luang Royal Parade Grounds on the banks of the Chao Phraya River. A very historical and important university, not the least because of what happened here 44 years ago on this day, which has become known as the Thammasat University Massacre. Happened on October the 6th, 1976. And in a way, it sort of paved the way for the political movements that have followed. The actual events that preceded the incident started a few weeks before, when the tortured corpses of two electricity workers were found hanging on September the 24th, 1976, just north of Bangkok. You also need to put the incident into the context of the mid-1970s and the events swirling around Southeast Asia. Next door, the Americans had just lost the Vietnam War, Laos was overrun by a communist government, and the Khmer Rouge had taken advantage of the instability in Cambodia to impose a bloody, xenophobic and paranoid communist dystopia. In Thailand, the politics of the time was becoming more polarised, with a right-wing loyalist faction backed by the army and a left-leaning socialist rump with the student movement leading the way. The return of two highly divisive former tyrannic leaders of Thailand, who had been in exile for 3 years, at the same time added more fuel for the protest and political unrest. The discovery of the two dead bodies sparked new protests, which culminated in the bloody crackdown by police, army and right-wing militia at the Thammasat University campus and adjacent Sanam Luang on the morning of October the 6th, 1976. The official death toll was 45 and another 145 people injured, but unofficial accounts claim that more than 100 were killed. The temporary museum uses a range of media to describe the lead-up to the massacre, the carnage of that bloody morning, along with vivid images and sounds of the day's fateful events. One of the volunteers for the current exhibition is Yanisa, and we asked her why it was important to stage the pop-up museum.
So this exhibition has been put together in order to show and explain the event of October 6th massacre that happened here at this very university. So I think it's very important to really show the facts and what happened, especially during this political atmosphere we have right now in Thailand.
The display, mostly in Thai, has many photos, some of them synonymous with the incident, others rare insights of some of the people involved at the time. Some of these people were involved with putting the exhibition together.
From my knowledge, this project has been ongoing for 4 to 5 years. Started with some people were setting up a website in order to collect the information about the massacre, everything from news articles to official documents from the government listing names of the victims of the massacres, finding out about people who have since then disappeared. And with those information that have been collected, they started doing this exhibition yearly, I think.
When you walk into the main hall, you're confronted with a huge landscape photographic mural where augmented reality overlays shadows from the massacre onto today's peaceful photo of Sanam Luang.
So this is an on-site museum. We are trying to show and pick up the occurrences, stuff that happened at particular places. For example, behind you can see trees. These are the trees from just outside this building. Around there were bodies hanged. A lot of violence happened around. So we were trying to pick up stories from different areas on the university and then tell the story of the day.
The pop-up museum is staged not only on the 44th anniversary of the Thammasat University massacre, but at a time when the latest round of student protests are getting louder again. For an entire generation of Thais, the massacre casts a dark shadow on all political discourse since the event. But now a younger generation is making sure the memories remain fresh, and as a reminder that political overreach can easily spill over to violence.
What is happening right now, it's not just happening right now, there's a history behind it. If you look at this exhibition, there'll be a zone that talks about the political atmosphere, not just in Thailand, but on the international level, and different establishments that have part in this particular massacre. And I think those are the things we can learn from, to look at the bigger picture and to understand that whatever happens, the violence that might happen in the future or that has happened in the past recent month, it's not our fault, it's something much bigger, and it's from those in power that must be blamed.
So you heard there the words from Yanisa, one of the very passionate volunteers who have put this exhibition together. Now it's only here until next Sunday. Most of the exhibitions, to be honest, are only written up in Thai. But it's worth visiting to recall one of the pivotal events of Thai political history here at the Thammasat University.